is home for the Dan Patrick Show.
Coming right up, another fun Varsity Sports Show.
It's back. Coming this fall, the Varsity Sports Show is partnering up with NFHS to bring you the Thursday night high school football game of the week. 12 regular season games, plus playoffs, courtesy of the varsity team. Join the varsity team this fall as they deliver every single down every week. Subscribe through NFHS and watch all of your favorite AIA high school football action every Thursday night this fall. The Varsity Sports Show is bringing back the Thursday night high school football game of the week. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.
Hi, this is Carefree resident Phil Corso. I start my weekend listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS Arizona, where life is good when you live carefree.
KDUS AM 1060 Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix is home for the Dan Patrick Show.
This program is paid for by the JV Sports LLC and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you. Empowering education and enabling dreams. Right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Varsity Sports Show. And yes, hail to the Chief. So whenever you hear that song, it's kind of a running gag, but it is serious to a certain degree because our very first guest 2 years ago on what was then the name of the other show that we had, which is now the Varsity Sports Show, we had a special person in the community in the town of Carefree, and it was a gag because the mayor wasn't available, so we brought on the vice mayor, and it's the Vice Mayor, Honorable John Crane. John, are you an honorable guy?
Well, all things considered, I suppose.
Yes.
Well, it depends on how far we go back in time.
Yeah. So welcome to the show. And this is a special, again, every week is considered special for us. Every time we wake up on this side of the gravel, it's a special day. But today in particular, because it is the final day of our Summer Spotlight series. This summer, we pivoted a little bit away from sports. Schools are out, and we wanted to do some outreach, get back into the community, and feature great things in the community, and we did just that every week. I felt like it was mission accomplished. We featured 15, well, number 15 is today, 15 amazing people, amazing organizations in the community. We started it off with the great veteran broadcaster, Dick Stockton, way back on May 29th, Memorial Day weekend, and here we are, August 21st, and we're featuring another great guy. We'll get into talking about him in a minute, but John, you're a great guy as well. Even though you weren't necessarily a part of the Summer Spotlight series, you are here today. And we're going to spotlight some great things in the community. So thanks again for joining us on the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Vince DeLisio, and we are sitting in the town of Carefree, Arizona, a beautiful place. It's like the Magic Kingdom of Arizona. It's like the Disneyland of Arizona. And here we are in the Desert Gardens. It's a 4-acre spread of unique desert landscaping. Beautiful out in front of the Veterans Memorial that was a project of the community. John, I want to turn this over to you because I'd like you to, as the vice mayor of the town of Carefree and a distinguished individual in your own right, I would like you, and a veteran as well, I'd like you to, and thank you for your service, by the way, I'd like you to talk a little bit about the Veterans Memorial.
Oh, sure. Well, first, Vince, thanks so much for putting on the radio show here in town and the entire summer series. I had the pleasure of listening to you, the Dick Stockton
Yeah.
And if that's
Well, you're
available,
a big baseball
if that's
guy.
available on your website, I encourage all your listeners to tune in and check that out. That was just a great program. And thanks for focusing on vets today. People often forget about them. They think of Memorial Day and Veterans Day, but they during the other days and months of the year, people tend to not think of them so much. And now is especially critical time because of what's going on in Afghanistan. And I think we owe just tremendous gratitude and thanks to all of those soldiers who have served there over the past 20 years, them and their families. They've done a magnificent job, and the proof of that is that they've kept the homeland safe for all that time.
Yeah.
And I would also say if anyone who's listening has any buddies from high school or college or just people they've come to know through the course of their lives who have served there, just give them a call and do a buddy check with them and just call them and just say hello and just make sure they're getting on okay. So that would be a very good thing to do. But in our community, we're a veteran-friendly town. We've had a Veterans Day program on Veterans Day running for, I think, 14 years now. This will be the 14th year live on November 11th, 3 to 5 p.m. Memorial Day program, it's 3 years now. And just to go along with what we were saying earlier, to find a way to keep veterans in people's minds all the time, a group of vets came together and decided to build a veterans memorial in the Carefree Desert Gardens.
And so in doing that, and it brought other residents in the community together to, and raise awareness. So it wasn't, even though it was a veteran-led project, I'm not a veteran, but I'm proud of the people that have served, and I was fortunate enough. I was invited to be part of this project in a very small way, but still was, and I appreciated that honor to do that, and other people like me, and it's an amazing memorial. I mean, it's not anything that's very gaudy or anything like that. It's beautiful, and it's a place where veterans can come and they can reflect, and they see some amazing emblems too. Talk a little about those.
Oh, you bet. So the way this came together, 5 vets came from 5 different branches of the service: Army, Navy, Coast Guards, Marine, and Air Force. Yeah. And so each service is represented. And they came up with a design. They managed the construction. They managed the fundraising. This was entirely a grassroots funded project. No money came from the government.
Sure.
And the town worked with us to allow a space in the garden for it to be that's somewhat isolated, so there's some privacy. And like you said, it's a very, I don't know if sort of modest is the right word, but it looks strong, it's stoic, and it's not gaudy.
Yeah.
And I would encourage anyone who comes to the town. It's marked by a flagpole that was an Eagle Scout project for a local scout.
Yeah.
There's of course, the American flag, and underneath that is the POW flag. Flies 24/7. It's illuminated.
Well, what's really cool about this thing is, again, it was an Eagle Scout project on the flagpole. That was amazing. I saw those kids out here, and Bob Jenkins, who was our co-host today in the next segment, the rest of the show, led those efforts as well. Was a big part of that. But we have something on this Veterans Memorial that not a lot of other memorials have. And as we talk about the insignias of the various branches of the military, go through each of those and then save what I think is the best one for last, John.
Okay, so we have actually 6 emblems on there for 6 branches of our military.
Yeah.
The Army, the Air Force, Marines, Navy, and the Coast Guard. And we have a 6th one, which is the newly formed Space Force.
Yes. That is awesome.
And so we couldn't get a vet from the Space Force because there's not too many vets.
Yeah,
They're
little
probably
too young.
busy right now.
Yeah.
But someday we'll have someone here who's a representative, and that'll be a big day.
Yeah.
But,
big
so
deal.
We plan for the future.
So it's beautiful, and the main plaque on it just states, it says, "Dedicated to the men and women of our armed forces who have served served this country with honor," and it was placed last year, July of 2020. But it really is amazing. It's amazing when a community comes together in a positive way, what you can accomplish. And as I was setting up this morning, they do yoga out here 3 days a week. They do other fitness classes out here. And Christine with Carefree Yoga walked over and said, "What's going on over there?" And they like it nice and quiet. And I'm over here setting up, putting my tent up and expecting a big crowd and, everything else. And she said, well, I'm doing a yoga class, every 3 days a week. And so she invited me over to speak to her class. It was amazing. And, as they were starting and they were stretching out, I went over there and talked a little bit about what we're doing. And the people were so nice. And so it was just neat. It's a beautiful, amazing place to live. We're lucky. I mean, we've got our own little, one of the best kept secrets in the state of Arizona up here in Carefree. And what are some other organizations that have it's a community of volunteers. So what are some of the other organizations that have a pretty strong presence here?
Well, the first one that comes to mind is the Veterans Heritage Project, since we're veterans focused today.
Okay.
And they've been a partner with the town for years, especially on Veterans Day and the Memorial Day project
Sure.
that we do. And what Veterans Heritage Project is a program that comes out of the local high school, Cactus Shadows High School, where the students interview veterans.
Okay.
And it's just great because it connects the vets with the young kids. It helps preserve our heritage, and it basically teaches some leadership skills to the students. And then they do those interviews. Every class does the interviews, and then they're recorded and bound in a book, which they publish and sell at the conclusion of the year.
Okay.
It is Since You Asked is the name of the book. I was interviewed about a month ago myself, which was pretty cool.
Wow. Well, now you're a submariner, so you were
Exactly.
underwater for how many months at a time?
Well, 4 months at a time. One
Wow.
time.
They have oxygen down there?
Just enough.
Okay.
Exactly
All right.
right.
Gotcha. Okay.
No lasting damage.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Hey, you were an officer, that's amazing.
But they're just a great program. So I would encourage anyone who's listening who's a vet to reach out to the Veterans Heritage Project. Their website is veterans with an S.
Okay.
project.com.
Okay.
Or you can just call me in Town Hall, 480-488-3686.
Yeah.
And I'll fill you in on my experience and put you in touch with the right people.
One of the other cool things that's coming up is there's a Veterans Day run here in Run Walk. In my case, struggle crawl here in Carefree. It's a 5K. It's really neat. It starts here in the town center by Town Hall and ends here. And that's going to be the weekend of Veterans Day, I believe, on Saturday morning. And we're going to be doing our show out here right near the starting or finish line. And so that's one thing. It's a fundraiser. It raises awareness. And AT&T, Kelsey Hughes, is one of the big drivers of that. She's a great person, a resident of the community, and so that's a big thing that will be going on. Its second or third year now this year?
Exactly, it'll be the third year.
Yeah.
Great support from the local American Legion Post 34 in Cave Creek. They're just great helpers with that. We have an excellent crowd, and in years past, and I believe this year it'll wrap up with a Kiwanis pancake breakfast in the pavilion.
Yes.
So it's just a great community day. So I would encourage everyone. I believe it's that's Saturday before Veterans Day. I believe it's the 9th.
The 9th, Saturday, November 9th. Okay, and we'll
mark
put
your
alerts out.
calendars.
Yeah, before, and I think it starts at 7 p.m., but we'll be doing the show from 9 to 10, so wonderful. Okay, so last question, John. Vice Mayor Crane. There's an election coming up next year here in the town of Carefree. Do you want to announce anything today?
No, I said, get out and vote. Register and get out and vote. So I'm going to tell you.
Okay. All right. Because I want to be the first that breaks that story. So anyway. Okay. All right. So Vice Mayor Crane, thanks so much for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. As always, you were our first guest. You've been our one of our biggest cheerleader supporters. If I'm Carefree's unofficial favorite son, you got to be the father here in town because you know everything about everything. I mean, anybody needs anything, they come and ask you. Anybody, hey, what kind of plant is this? Well, that's an exotic whatever. You ask John Crane. You want to know if there's a garden series, if there's a lecture, if anything that's going on, you ask John Crane. And John Crane is Mr. Carefree. And literally and figuratively, because you are you're easygoing guy.
I just love the community. It's a great place to live.
Okay.
And
all right.
Thanks for coming out here and doing everything you do, Ben.
Yes.
Thank you. Great. Thank
you.
All
right. Folks, when we come back here on the Varsity Sports Show, and thanks again, Vice Mayor John Crane, Town of Carefree. When we come back, we are going to be joined by the man of the hour himself, finishing up our Summer Spotlight series with Mr. Bob Jenkins. He is a Marine Corps veteran. He is a survivor of 9/11. We all are survivors to a certain degree, but it was a little bit more of he'll tell his story and give us an abbreviated version when we come back. Guys, it's a beautiful day here in the town core of Carefree, Arizona, the Desert Gardens. And we're joined by other folks here, famous dignitaries. We got Tom Cross, who's the Planning and Zoning Chairman. Mr. Herb Hitchin as well. Dr. Hitchin is here providing photography for us. We'll be right back.
Check out KDUS AM 1060 on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD radio on 100.7 channel number 2.
This is hockey guru Tom Cross from Carefree, Arizona, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS. Go Varsity!
Are you unable to do the things you love? Do you know your daily habits could be better to enhance your quality of life? Are you suffering with chronic pain or chronic illness and can't find the right solution that works for you? Fix Body Group was created so you have a team of professionals to help you achieve your health goals and get you back to doing what you love again. In Scottsdale, go to fixbodygroup.com or call 480-795-5329. Fix Body Group, proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show and Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675. Hey guys, Vince here from the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in this fall for the Thursday night high school football game of the week and a special segment at halftime called the My Recruits Varsity Sports Show Thursday Night Football Tip of the Week. Take it away, Coach Perrone.
That's right, Vince. Every Thursday night, we are going to give a tip and some knowledge for the viewers and the listeners who are getting ready for the big stage. And also, we're going to talk about various recruits, top prospects from around the valley.
Tune in every Thursday night at halftime of the Varsity Sports Show NFHS Thursday Night Game of the Week featuring My Recruit segment with Coach Perrone and me.
HD Radio is here for KDUS AM 1060. Check out your favorite shows and games on 100.7 KSLX HD2.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the Summer Spotlight Series, featuring outstanding members of our community. And now, here's Vince.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince Delisio here, and as the intro stated, Summer Spotlight Series, and we are joined by the man of the hour, our co-host today that's going to wrap up that series, Mr. Bob Jenkins. And Bob, thank you so much. How are you, sir?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
You look like you've been up since like 3 a.m. out running, and you're like a bundle of energy here.
Absolutely.
So
it's Saturday.
It is Saturday. It is beautiful. It's an amazing day. It's an amazing community. You've been a resident here for a good number of years, and what I want to do is this Summer Spotlight Series, it's allowed us to spotlight, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, you might not think so, but amazing people. And today you are one of those people. So thank you so much for giving your time and what you do in the community. Anytime anybody gives of their time and money and effort and just passion for a cause, to me, they're amazing. So thank you for that. Let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, we've got a couple segments we're going to spend with you. And with this first segment, I want to talk about something that might be a little bit of a sensitive topic. But, when we got together before the show, I said, is anything off limits? And you replied, nothing. You're an open book, aren't you? Okay. Yeah. So you
just don't bring up the witness protection program.
Except that, yes. Yes. But you served in the Marine Corps.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you spent how many years?
4.
4 years of a lot of work.
A lot of work.
And where did you spend a majority of that time, if there was? I'm sure you moved around quite a bit.
Yeah, I went to boot camp in Parris Island, South Carolina.
Okay.
And I got my orders the day that I graduated boot camp. They handed me a manila envelope, and I looked at that envelope, and of course, this is long before Google and any of that stuff. And all I saw at the top of it was California, and I thought, hot dog.
Yeah, Hollywood, right?
California.
Yeah, there you go.
Top down, Pacific Coast Highway, cute blonde next to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to California, long story short, as I got there, and I was at a place called 29 Palms.
Oh, I've been there.
We call it the Stumps or the Moon with Houses.
Yeah.
And I ended up in 29 Palms for 3 years. And then my last year, I was transferred. I got orders to go to Marine Corps Air Station, Iwakuni, Japan. Spent some time in Iwakuni, over in Korea, Okinawa, and then back to Iwakuni.
So, and the reason why I bring this up, because you've told me this story before, and it really resonated with me, because there was something, you had something memorable about 29 Palms in working in flight lines and a smell. There was a particular smell. What was that smell?
That was Iwakuni. Iwakuni was a Marine Corps Air Base.
Okay.
And we were out working on the flight line. Well, every day, I've been being on a Marine Corps Air Base. You smell jet fuel. You smell jets every day.
Okay. So that being said, remember that part of it, folks. Yep. All right. Let's fast forward to September 2001. About the second week of September, September 10th, somewhere in there. You were working for a company and you had a meeting with another company. Go.
I was working for a video conferencing company that specialized in IP desktop video. And September 10, my VP of sales, my sales engineer, and I were down in New York City. Mm-hmm. We were down at the stock exchange talking to them about video. And we had an appointment the next day with Lehman Brothers to present a solution to Lehman that if they liked what they saw, they were going to do a pilot program and launch this between New York, London, and Tokyo. And then if that worked the way they wanted it to, they were going to deploy desktop video to every desktop at Lehman Brothers.
Where was this meeting specifically at?
It was on the 39th floor of the World Trade Center.
Okay. So you show up for that meeting. Beautiful day, September 11th.
Perfect day.
Yeah.
The day before was hot and brutally humid. A lot of places are pretty gross when it's hot and humid, but New York is one of them. And the next morning we woke up and it was dry. It was crystal clear. It was absolutely a stunningly beautiful day. Just one of those days you're happy to be alive.
Yeah.
And Chris and I took a cab down the FDR Drive, got off at the World Trade Center. We got there early and we were drinking coffee and just standing, waiting for the other people to show up in our meeting. David, my VP of sales, showed up. Arthur, who was a consultant, showed up. We got in the elevators. Went up to the 40th floor, met our hosts from Lehman, and they said, okay, folks, we're going to walk down a flight of stairs. Little did we know what that was going to turn out to be.
Yeah.
We walked down a flight of stairs to the 39th floor.
What time was this at?
8:15.
Okay.
And so 8:30, we got downstairs, got in the conference room.
Yeah.
And, then you do all the pleasantries. Hi, how are you? How was your summer? How are the kids? All those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And then it was my meeting. So I said to everybody, I said, okay, folks, the purpose of the meeting is we're here to discuss. And I don't think the word discuss got about 6 inches out of my mouth when there was this, which everybody who was alive and seen and heard, was this tremendous explosion.
Yeah.
And that is when the peripheral, what hit the fan.
Yeah.
And
so did you look out the window at the time and see, because it wasn't your tower that was hit?
Yeah, no, I was in Tower 1.
Oh, you were in Tower 1 that was hit. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I watched everybody in the meeting. Their eyes went, wide as watermelons. Everything, time froze.
Yeah.
And everything just stopped. Now, when I was a combat engineer in the Marine Corps, we stationed at 29 Palms, we used to do a lot with high explosives.
Okay.
And I know what they look like. I know what they smell like. I know what they feel like.
Yeah.
And when that thing exploded, then you felt the percussion come right down through the building.
Yeah.
And then everything just stopped for a moment. And what people don't understand is then the building, which you can't see because we're on radio, but I'm showing Vince with a water bottle, that building started to just sway back and forth.
Wow.
It started going back. Keep in mind, I was only down here.
Yeah.
I can't
almost not even halfway up.
I can't even imagine what the people up top were thinking.
Yeah.
And as it did, I took a course in the Marine Corps that taught us how to stay calm and how not to panic, because panic is what kills people.
Yeah.
And I sat still and I watched the other guys get up and literally try to run out the door. And I sat there. I said, Bob, you need to stay really cool. You need to stay really calm. I'm up and around. I was brought up in and around New York City. I've been there a gazillion times. I used to live in New York City.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm thinking is, this is not an earthquake. Then I'm thinking, what would cause an explosion in the World Trade Center to cause the building to do this? In the meantime, the building's just violently swaying.
Yeah.
in my mind, I pictured these guys trying to run to the stairway, and all I could think was, if they're running to the stairway, the way the stairways are put together, I'm thinking as badly as the building's convulsing, I'm picturing those stairways just dropping, just falling apart. I'm thinking that's not going to be a good idea.
Now, nobody thought it was an airplane that hit the building. People thought what?
We didn't even know.
Okay.
Had no idea. We had zero idea. Nobody said anything. It was literally survival. You just knew in your gut that something so terrible had happened that you needed to get out of the building.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So all right. So you start the process. You guys start walking downstairs.
These guys started running downstairs. Now, I say running. The building was convulsing so badly that it was like walking on jello. You really couldn't.
But you did something interesting. You went right up to the window, and you said you looked down at everything down below, off into the horizon. What were you thinking?
When I watched all these guys book toward the stairs, I realized, and then the thing that went through my mind is, what are you taught in case of an earthquake? I knew it was an earthquake, but going through, stand under a door jam. And I'm laughing at that, thinking I'm on the 39th floor of a tall building. The door jam's not going to do any good whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I then managed, and I say walk, I was literally like crawling like, an old drunk because the building was convulsing so badly. But I managed to get over to the windows. And as I looked out the window, I was looking down to my left at about 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Was the Statue of Liberty. Directly in front of me, across the Hudson River, the East River rather, was the Palisades Cliffs. I could see the 9th Avenue piers down below, and it was such a clear, beautiful day with a cobalt blue sky. I looked up at the sky, and I saw white. I saw paper, which looked like ticker tape, looked like snowflakes, and against that cobalt blue sky, and I thought, and I looked down, and I put my hands deep in my pockets, and I hesitated for a second, and I smiled, and I said out loud, "So this is where I die." And I was completely at peace. I knew for a fact that the building was going to topple over, and I said, "There's nothing you can do." And I just said, "So this is where I die."
Wow.
And then the building stopped convulsing, and I heard a woman yell, "There's been an explosion in a mechanical room on the 42nd floor." So at that moment, I said, okay, it's not an earthquake. It's 3 stories above me. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And the rest of the story will take up more time than we have today. But
the other thing is that I want it, because there's conspiracy theorists out there to no end. But when you you made your way, you got down to the bottom floor, obviously the main floor there. What did you see when you got down there, and what did you smell?
As we were walking down the stairs, and I say walking, it was it took about a minute per flight. And if anybody were to go into any kind of a commercial building this moment and walk down a flight of stairs, it'll take you anywhere, depending on what kind of shape you're in, obviously, but it'll take anywhere from 5 to 6 seconds to walk down a flight of stairs. A minute is a very, very long time.
Well, yeah, and 39 floors, 39 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I had a little stop on the way, which is another whole story.
Yeah.
But as we were coming down the stairs, what happened was the stairway became full of smoke. And then when the plane hit the building, it also shattered and burst all the pipes above. So eventually we had completely smoke-filled stairs that smelled like jet fuel, and it was completely smoky in there, and we had water cascading down on us. And I thought we were going to asphyxiate. I thought for sure that we were all just going to eventually we were just going to asphyxiate.
So your Marine Corps training and your experience, you smelled jet fuel.
Absolutely.
And you also saw something down on the ground.
Well, when I finally got down to the bottom, and it's a whole long story, but when I finally did get down to the bottom and I was walking out of the building, still not knowing an airplane had hit the building.
Yeah.
I looked to my right and I saw, not 20 feet away on the other side of the glass, was part of a jet wing, and there was a jet engine lying on the ground smoldering.
Wow.
And it's one of those things you just can't comprehend. You just can't put it together. It's just completely, you can't do it. So I ended up outside. I found some of the guys I'd been in the meeting with, turned around. I was looking up at the building, and I'm standing there with my arms crossed, and I'm doing like everybody else with my mouth open, and I'm looking at that gash. And I'm thinking, how the hell are they ever going to fix that? They're going to bring the scaffoldings from down below up top. And someone said, someone jumped. And I went, no, it's debris falling.
Oh, boy.
And at that moment, I saw a man just lean forward. And he just leaned forward. And I'm pulling on my shirt. I'm going, pull the chute, pull the chute, pull the chute. And he hit the ground and turned into a tomato. And then a moment later, a woman stepped off the side of the building like she was stepping off Park Avenue to catch a cab. She just stepped right off. And she hit the ground and she turned into a tomato. And at that moment, I turned around to everybody. I said, folks, this is not live entertainment. I will not stand here and watch people commit suicide. I'm getting the hell out of here. And that's a whole nother story.
Okay. So obviously you're joining us for the hour, and we're going to pivot now because of we don't have a lot of time, unfortunately, and we're going to talk about some other things. But when we come back from the break, we are going to pivot slightly to another segment talking about some high school sports, Thursday night football. Folks, don't go away. But Bob Jenkins, who is a Marine Corps veteran, he is a 9/11 survivor, and he is a strong advocate organization called the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation. He will be back joining us. We're going to hear more of his story when we come back after the break. Stick around, folks. Thanks again for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Beautiful morning here from the Carefree Desert Gardens in Carefree, Arizona. We'll be back.
AM 1060 into your home with Alexa?
Hi, I'm Alexa.
Download the KDUS AM 1060 skill and enable. Then say, Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060.
This is where I start my day.
Hi, hey, this is Coach Bob Green. When I am not busier than a mosquito in a nudist colony, I'm listening to Vince at the Varsity Sports Show. Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Anna and Keith started Stessa Movement Company with their customers' clothing styles in mind. Their goal is to clothe the world your way. High-end, comfortable clothing at affordable prices. Check out their custom-made hats, shirts, masks, and vintage gear. They outfit the Varsity Sports Show crew and sponsor the Stessa Movement Company Player of the Game Award. Find them at stessamovement.ecwid.com, spelled S-T-E-S-A for style.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675.
24th Street Dental Biltmore is the place to go for cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign. Doctors Braden, Turner, and the team are ready to put your dental needs first. They are the Valley's Invisalign experts. Schedule a free exam today and mention the Varsity Show for complimentary in-house whitening. From cleanings to more comprehensive dental, 24th Street Dental Biltmore in Phoenix is the first step toward a healthier smile. Located in the heart of the Biltmore, call or stop by 602-468-1135. Proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Need social information about KDUS AM 1060? Try KDUS1060.com, at KDUS AM 1060 on Twitter, and Facebook.com/KDUS AM 1060.
It's the Thursday night football face-off.
That's my wife doing the intro, Cheryl. Thank you very much. Good help's hard to find. Bob, So, joined by our co-host today, Bob Jenkins of the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation, and Bob is a 9/11 survivor. He was talking about his experience 20 years ago on that fateful day in the World Trade Center when it was hit, and you were on the 39th floor, and we're going to hear a little bit more of that, as well as talking about the foundation that you support. But when you hear that intro, now every week we've been doing a regular feature on Thursday Night Football. So as you may or may not know, Bob, I know you're a strong listener of our program, but we are bringing back the Thursday Night High School Football Game of the Week. We're going to be streaming 12 weeks of games around the Valley. amazing teams, amazing coaches, amazing families participating in this, and the guy that is going to be the voice of Thursday Night Football this year is a young man named Matt Venezia. Matt is a guy I had a chance to meet and get to know really well over the spring, and did some work for us on some other broadcasts, and he is a student at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University. Matt, good morning, sir.
How's it going, Vince? Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
We are excited about you, man. You bring a passion and about delivering sports. And even though you're a college student, you've been doing this for a long time. How long have you been doing broadcasts?
I picked it up going into my junior year of high school. So now entering my sophomore year, I'm entering my 4th year of it, which is pretty crazy to think about. But it's been a lot of fun, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
So tell us a little bit about what you are looking forward to about this Thursday night game of the week, because you've seen the matchups, you've had a chance to kind of digest some of this. You're going to be operating primarily as a one-man show, and you could talk a little bit about what your color commentators are going to be like from week to week. But tell us more.
Well, I think in general the idea of spotlighting, a single game entering that week on Thursday night, we're going to be around the Valley. So these teams are going to be excited for the exposure that they're going to get, and we're going to be bouncing all around the Valley and getting a chance to see all these different teams. That's what I'm most excited about. And you mentioned that one-man show. The idea behind it is we're going to have a color commentator be either a staff member or a coach from the hosting home team school, who will, be able to give some insight on what the schools are bringing to the table this year, and maybe what we have to look forward to in this game, maybe specific players and just an idea and a chance for these, coaches or staff members to join the broadcast and tell us about that team that, we may not know about. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be. I'm looking forward to it. And we're kicking off our Thursday night high school football coverage this Thursday night at Bourgade Catholic High School, the Golden Eagles. And they are hosting a team from way over in the East Valley, Santan Foothills. And it should make for a great matchup. It's a 3A matchup kicking off week 1 of this series. Matt, it is going to be the producer will be a young man, another Cronkite student at ASU named Sammy Rivera, a lot of talent, and the internship staff from ASU Cronkite School will be there. I'm just going to be a supporting cast member, but I am so excited. And Matt, thank you so much for doing this year. We are excited about you and the passion and the energy and the experience you bring. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Looking forward to events, and it's going to be a lot of fun on Thursday. Can't wait.
All right, Matt Venezia, the radio voice or the live stream voice of the Varsity Sports Show, NFHS, Thursday night high school game of the week. You can subscribe through NFHS to catch every week's matchups, and that was Matt Venezia joining us. So now we are going to pivot to another old friend of mine that is also going to be partnering up with us on this Thursday night high school coverage. Gentleman that's been around the Valley. He is a guru in his own right in working with kids and working with colleges. Coach Lou Perrone. Coach Perrone runs a service called My Recruits. Coach Perrone, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How's it going?
Man, we are off and running. This is going to be quite a week. So how's it going with you?
Awesome. Excited for Thursday night football.
I am too. Yes, sir.
You have put together quite a production team, and just really excited because there's so many media entities out there, but just what you're doing with the Varsity Sports Show, just really you stand apart from the rest of these guys. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Checks in the mail, Coach. Thanks so much for that. I'm going to record you saying that. I'm going to play it for my wife. So anyway, thanks so much for that. But we are doing something pretty unique at halftime of each game. What are we doing?
Yeah, there's there's so much information out there that some of these listeners and some of the families and young men really need. So every week during halftime, we're going to, give them some free advice, just a recruiting tip of the day, but also we're going to do a brief rundown on some of the top athletes out there in the state, giving the opportunity. I mean, the Varsity Sports Show is giving us an opportunity to give a little extra exposure to different players out there. So, I mean, we're excited to be a part of it. The players are excited. And, I've talked to some of the college coaches that are going to be tuning in and listening to the game, and they're going to be excited. So it's going to be an awesome all-around experience.
It will be. So it's going to be a segment you and I are going to be doing at halftime of every Thursday night game. We're calling it I don't know what order we want to put it in.
Do we have a name for it?
Well, we do, but we haven't quite determined what order it's going to be in. I guess it depends on who's saying it. If I'm saying it, we're going to call it the Varsity Sports Show, My Recruits Thursday Night Tip of the Week. But if you're saying it, it's reversed. It's the My Recruits Varsity Sports Show tip.
Whatever we want to call it is okay as long as we get it out there.
Yes, there you go. So and like you said, I'm going to pick your brain and I'll say, hey, Coach, what's going on? What do families need to watch out for? That what do they need to do? And tell us about this week's spotlight athletes and they're young people that you're working with that really are making an impact out there, that are great students, great athletes, great people, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we're going to have a countdown to top guys each week, and I don't know. It's anything and everything. It's a lot of it's unscripted, I think, too, isn't it?
Well, it's always better to be unscripted. I mean, 90% of what I do is unscripted because I'm big on talking from the heart and being very honest. Even in my recruiting process with my families, it's just, hey, this is what it is. 2 + 2 = 4, no matter how you lay it out on paper. And, it's the opportunities that these young men need to get out there and talk. I just on the phone with a young man who we're going to talk about a little bit about this week, who's a quarterback at a very small school. Nobody knows about him, but he's a special player and he's going to play college football. So I think we're going to talk about some of the quarterbacks around the Valley at halftime this week and give a recruiting tip, and it's going to be fun. And Borgate and Santan are two very well coached teams, and it's just all around. It's just going to be an awesome experience. You're providing a lot of great opportunities, and we're thankful for it.
So that's Coach Perrone from My Recruits kicking off, helping to be a part of this Thursday night football. You got to subscribe through NFHS to catch the game and all the games. It'll be 12 weeks of games. Coach Perrone, thank you so much for joining us and looking forward to working with you and kicking off our first halftime segment this Thursday night.
Absolutely, guys. Don't miss it. Thursday night. Get subscribed, NFHS. We're excited to be there. Vince, thank you so much.
All right. Okay, joining us on the line now, Showboss AV is a company that's going to be providing these video boards at each of the Thursday night games with graphics, and we're taking this thing to another level. And the CEO of Showboss is a guy who's been around the Valley. He was actually the lead singer of a band called the Funk Junkies, DJ Soul Man Joe Valiente. DJ, you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here, buddy. How you doing?
Yes. Man, we are so excited. We're taking this thing to another level. Tell us what you're going to be doing at the games on Thursday nights.
First of all, I really appreciate the high praises on the official title of CEO. I really that could have a lot of different.
Yeah. Or is your wife
meanings.
The CEO? Yeah.
No, she is the CFO. That's what
okay.
If I got that correct, the Chief Financial Officer, that would be her.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
right on, man. Well, we're ready to rock, man. We're super excited to be part of this thing, and like you said, we're bringing out some mobile like jumbotrons, some smaller versions of it, but it'll be really cool because we can have high definition color graphics. And
wow,
we did that like we did on the championship game last year together, where we hung out. We're bringing that every week to your game, so we're excited to be part of it, Vince. Thanks for having us, man.
Oh, it is. Yeah, if you guys aren't watching at home, you definitely have to be at these locations because every week you're bringing out a big board and a lot of graphics, and it is just going to take this thing to a whole nother level. And that's Showboss AV and DJ Soulman Joe Valiente. Joe, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, you know what? They can hit us up at Showboss AV, as in audiovisual, showbossav.com. And they can, just my links and everything are up there. We're a family business, but like you said, we've been around the Valley here for 30 years doing entertainment and shows and every part of if it's music, we're messing with it. You know what I mean? So we're just happy to be, like I said, we're just happy to be involved. And if they come out to the gigs, we'll always have a guy on site. And we do everything from digital signage to scoreboards to if you got a restaurant or a nightclub and you need, menus, or you want to do some of these new Vegas style sports walls. We if you go to Old Town, we do a lot of that stuff. So we're around. We're easy to find.
Awesome. Okay. DJ Soulman, Joe Valiant, us AV, at taking this Thursday night football to a different level. Thank you, sir. And we'll see you Thursday.
I'll see you Thursday, man. We're excited. Have a great day. Okay, you guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by once again, by Bob Jenkins, who's still sitting here right next to me. We're going to talk a little about the foundation, and also joined by a local fitness trainer named Rome, who is going to talk a little bit about with young people, and that is coming up after the break here, 3/4 of the way past into the show here on the Varsity Sports Show. Folks, thanks again for joining us live from the Carefree Veterans Memorial at Desert Gardens. Go Varsity. We'll be right back.
Your caddy, Ray Adams, takes you beyond the 18th hole on Saturday mornings with Great American Golf from 6 to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
This is Coach Walter Cuff with TBA Training Better Athletes, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterathletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Anna and Keith started Stessa Movement Company with their customers' clothing styles in mind. Their goal is to clothe the world your way. High-end, comfortable clothing at affordable prices. Check out their custom-made hats, shirts, masks, and vintage gear. They outfit the Varsity Sports Show crew and sponsor the Stessa Movement Company Player of the Game Award. Find them at stessamovement.ecwid.com, spelled S-T-E-S-A for style.
24th Street Dental Biltmore is the place to go for cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign. Doctors Braden, Turner, and the team are ready to put your dental needs first. They are the Valley's Invisalign experts. Schedule a free exam today and mention the Varsity Show for complimentary in-house whitening. From cleanings to more comprehensive dental, 24th Street Dental Biltmore in Phoenix is the first step toward a healthier smile. Located in the heart of the Biltmore, call or stop by 602-468-1135. Proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Have you downloaded the KDUS AM 1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Food. Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is mail, chicken.
Once you're ready, say Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows.
I've been to Rome,
All right.
Dallas, Texas.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on KDUS, Arizona. I love that song. I don't know, Bob, if you're a fan.
A little bit.
You know, Sammy could have even mentioned Carefree in there of beautiful places in the world. He talks about some different places he's been. But anyway, and in fact, Eddie Van Halen owned a house here. He built a house here in Carefree. I don't know if you knew that.
A lot of celebrities.
Yeah,
up
a
here.
few. Kind of hidden, tucked away. So I found that out because, you know, I am nosy that way. But
you're a celebrity.
Yeah, right.
You know, Vince is here.
Yeah,
what more do we need?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes. So anyway, but yeah. So we're back, and we are joined by Bob Jenkins here. Bob, let's now transition. So you obviously you spoke a little bit on the heels of coming up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and you know, obviously a time and a dark spot in this nation's history, and you you know, many people lived through that, many people didn't live through it, and so you talked about your experience there, but let's move on to something a little more positive in this organization that you're working with now called the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation. What is it?
Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation, McClef, is a started in 1995. It's a 501c3. We're a national organization. We are all volunteer. We have one part-time bookkeeper. Our main headquarters office is in Tuckahoe, New York.
Okay.
And since 1995, we have gotten together, and what we do is we've gathered more than $85 million for children who have lost either a Marine or federal law enforcement officer parent in the line of duty. And what we do is through mostly golf tournaments, we're going to try and change up, but that's another story at the moment. But mostly through golf tournaments, fundraisers, we put money together, and when a child loses a parent, we put $35,000 into basically an escrow type account. And when the child reaches the age of 18, it's a scholarship fund for the child.
Okay.
And we have a local group here in Scottsdale, and we are putting together our 16th annual golf tournament. And what we do is the day before, we typically have anywhere from a couple to 2 to 3. This year, we're kind of hoping we'll have about 10 Congressional Medal of Honor recipients. And anybody outside the military, that doesn't sound like much. But anybody who served in the military knows what a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient is. There's only about 60, I think, 2 left in the world. And we hope to have 10 of them here. And what we do is the day before our golf tournament, we have what we call a gathering of heroes. And it's going to be down at the American Legion Post 34 in Cave Creek.
Yeah.
We will have veterans, obviously, present, Purple Heart recipients present, and the Medal of Honor guys. And we will then do flag, we'll do taps. Chaplain says a quick prayer. We'll have an honor guard present from Fountain Hills, Phil Yin and his group, who are award-winning honor guard. And then we all just get together as a bunch of veterans and have a couple beers and just have a good time and talk and raise some money. And then the next day we have our golf tournament.
Tell us tell us exactly who the recipients are of these funds and how it gets applied.
Children who have lost a parent, Marine or federal law enforcement, in the line of duty. So people here in Arizona may remember Officer Tullison, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, was struck and killed while giving a guy a ticket up in New River area. He was a federal law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
And he was struck and killed. And we went to the family afterwards and donated. We put $35,000 into that escrow account for his daughter. And when his daughter reaches the age of 18, which, do the math, as a little child, 2 or 3 years old,
yeah,
in the next 15, 16, 17 years, that turns into real money.
Yeah.
And so we do that for children all over the United States who have lost a parent in the line of duty, serving us, serving everybody listening, people who have, put their lives on the line for the rest of us.
You guys have some fun. You do a lot of work. You guys grind to help raise money for these people. But we had talked about golf tournament. Everybody does golf tournaments. You guys do golf tournaments. We talked about a fishing derby out at Bartlett. Tell us about that. I
am still trying. I came close a couple of years ago, and then COVID hit, and that really took the air out of the tires with everything.
Yeah.
So we're back to our golf tournament this year. I have not forgotten about putting on the fishing derby. It's going to happen. It's just a long road to hoe.
Yeah. Why do people have to throw the fish back? I want to catch those fish and I want to take them home and fry them.
Catch and release.
I know. What is that?
Well, you got both lines. I mean, people are, why kill the fish or what have you? And some people are just out there for the sport. They like to just catch the fish and
kill them. But when you go to the store when you go to the store and buy meat, that meat comes from somewhere.
It comes from somewhere. I am a firm believer of catch and eat.
Yeah. Okay.
I am a firm believer of fresh.
So catch and release. Regardless, it's still a fun. It's a great cause. It really is something that is benefiting people, particularly young people. And unfortunately, you can't replace a life. but you can help someone out, and you're all about that. I see you and I say, how you doing? And what is your typical response when I ask you how you're doing?
Busy.
Well, busy, but you also say, if I were any better, I'd be you. And it just, it drives me nuts because no matter how bad of a day I've had, you always manage to put a smile on my face. So you're just that kind of person. Tell us about Vets Built Contracting.
We are, back to busy. I mean, Vets Built, my brother DJ and I started this company 6 years ago this November.
And thank you, by the way, for being one of our partners here and keeping us going. You support youth activities, youth sports, and it's been a good relationship, and you continue to support us, and we thank you for that. But again, what makes you guys so special?
Just a little walk back, quick history. My great uncle Charlie was a Welsh coal miner.
Okay.
And he and my grandfather came over to this country. They got to pop their heads out of the coal mines like a couple ferrets and came over to this country. And Charlie was a Marine in World War I. My dad was a captain in the Army, served with Patton at the Bulge in World War II.
Wow.
My older brother's a Marine. I'm a Marine, and my son's a Navy Seabee. And my brother DJ tried to join the Marine Corps, but he had open heart surgery when he was 14 years old, and they couldn't let him in.
Wow.
So DJ and I talked, 6 years ago, what are we going to do? And let's put this business together. And he had a very strong background in real estate, land, those areas. And I have a very strong background in construction and building, having done it for a long time. And together there was a good synergy. So he and I started the company. And the number one goal since we started, was to hire and put veterans to work and to support veterans and veteran causes. So we donate money, time, and effort. We hire where we can. We can't always do it, but we have roughly 50 subcontractors working for us, Vince.
Yeah.
And out of those 50, roughly 40% are veterans, veteran-owned, or have veterans working for them.
And you're always looking for veterans to come and work with you. And because there's a special, they built me a shed, and these guys, they show up early. They clean up, they go out, and if there's extra things that they need to put in, they'll do it.
Yep.
Within reason. But these guys, and they never complain. They never, my gosh, these guys,
Jason, one of the guys on your job, Jason, is a former Marine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, very fortunate, and it's a great organization. Everything that you've been touching, Bob, has been gold, and it's you had a compelling story. Thank you for joining us and wrapping up the Summer Spotlight Series. It's been an amazing run, and this summer we're going to do it again next year.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you to all the folks that have been part of this thing. It's been an incredible time. Thank you to our show partners. Thank you to today's guests, Vice Mayor, the Honorable John Crane, Mr. Bob Jenkins, obviously, Matt Venezia, voice of Thursday Night Football, Coach Luke from Mike Recruits, DJ Soulman, Joe Valiente from Show Boss AV. Folks, head over to mclefaz.org. That's MCLEFAZ.org. The Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation. Find out how you can get involved. And thanks again for helping to wrap up our Summer Spotlight Series. Listen in through the end of the show. There's a special tribute to all of our Summer Spotlight co-hosts this summer. And folks, Ed and Javon are up next. Thanks again to everyone. We'll be back next week, 9 a.m., AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Vince DeLee's still here, live from Carefree, Arizona. Thanks again to our producer, Aaron Decker, behind the board. And have a great day, everyone. Go Varsity.
Hi, this is Dick Stockton. Join Vince and me on the Varsity Sports Show as we kick off the Summer Spotlight Series.
Hi, this is the Director of Community Engagement for Hospice of the Valley, Lynn Sue Cooney.
Hi, this is Darren Chapman with Tiger Mountain Foundation.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies.
This is Raquel Gomez, Program Director of Otta Bay Outdoors.
Hi, this is Avery from Teen Lifeline. Just want you to know that you're not alone.
Hey, this is Leanne from the Humane Society of Marshall County in Benton, Kentucky.
Hi, this is Darla Doss from the Benton Women's Club of Benton, Kentucky.
Hi, this is Kelsey Dickerson, and I start my Saturday mornings the right way.
Hi, this is Nicole Thompson, Executive Director at Harvest Compassion Center.
Hi, I'm Kate Beamer-Sturfer, the Director of Development and Communications for the Cosanti Foundation.
Hi, this is Dana Bailey from Homeless Youth Connection.
Hey, this is John Linton with the I Have a Name Project and Let's Be Better Humans.
Hello, this is Coach Mike Valadez. Despite the obstacles we face, we all should live by the promise.
Hey, this is Bob Jenkins from Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation.
On behalf of the 15 amazing people featured throughout the summer, thank you for starting your Saturdays listening to the Varsity Sports Show Summer Spotlight Series on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
At AAA Auto Repair Centers, we're committed to transparency in auto repair. Our certified technicians send a vehicle inspection report right to your mobile device with photos and updates, so you can make confident choices about your car before work begins. Both members and non-members are welcome at our 14 AAA Auto Repair Centers in Phoenix. To find one near you, visit AAA.com/repair. AAA. Outsmart life.
I donate plasma with